in multiple dividends and continues to do so even today as I pivot to build my next billion-dollar venture. That skill is giving me the unfair advantage. So here's something that you may not have heard of before. Your webinar, your live webinar that you do, it actually only accounts for about half of your sales. That's right. So if you get very good at creating a webinar and presenting that webinar, which is what we went over yesterday, you are going to be rocking it. But if you don't implement the things that I show you today, you're basically walking around with your left arm tied behind your back, and you have to function the whole day with only one arm. How much less efficient are you? The traffic costs the same. The advertising costs the same. The time investment to build that funnel is pretty much the same. But if you don't do what I show you to do today, you're half as efficient. Okay? So everyone type in the word funnel. Type in the word funnel right now if you're committed that you are going to soak in what I teach you and you are going to learn and apply. Okay. There we go. Lots of people. All right. Now, people who tell you webinars are dead are not doing things correctly, and that's why. Had a completely fascinating conversation with Will a couple of days ago, and he said something that I had been thinking, but it was amazing to hear from him to have it validated, and I talked about this yesterday. Webinars in our little world of internet marketers has been done and seen around now for over a decade. So we have the people in our industry that love to say, webinars are dead, webinars are dead, webinars are dead. Well, I love now to be able to show people and say, oh, really? Because the most record-breaking launch in the history of our industry just happened a few weeks ago. It was $100 million thanks to a webinar. So I don't think they're dead. But what we have found is something very interesting. Webinars are not only not dead, they're just coming alive. They're just crossing the threshold into mainstream. There was a convention that my buddy Robbie Blanchard spoke at. He was 1,500 people, he says, and he asked them from stage. It was all creators. It was all influencers. And he said, who here has a webinar? Robbie says that he could have counted on 2 hands how many hands he saw up. He goes, it was sad. People don't know what this is. You still have a ridiculous unfair advantage if you learn what you're learning today. All right? Look, I get it. I've been doing webinars for over a decade. I understand all of the objections. I understand all of the concerns. But here's the cool thing. We're not here to teach you anymore. This is something unique that Jason and I settled on with Webinar Mastery Academy. We can teach. We love this stuff. We could talk about it till we're blue in the face. We could talk about it for weeks non-stop. But what we found is it doesn't really help a lot of people. We're just here now to help you get it done and to execute. That's why we're leaning so heavily and aggressively into the AI side of it. Look, I was stuck for the longest time in the endless loop of going live over and over and over and over and over again. True story, 2014, I'm running a product launch. My record is I did 7 webinars live in one day. And if I told you how I did it, you would lose your mind. There were times where I, Anik Singal, was live on 2 webinars at a time. How the hell? Well, you know what we did? We had a webinar that started at, let's say, 7 p.m. We had another one that was starting at 8 p.m. You know what I would do? I'd record, so autoplay the first hour, so my team would autoplay it through the system. No one could tell. But it was written in such a way that as that hour was winding down, the pitch would be live. So I'd hop in, do the pitch. And while I'm pitching on that one, the other webinar's kicking off, and they're kicking it off with a 1 hour live file, a 1 hour replay file of me. And then as that one hits pitch, I finish this pitch and I hop over there and I pitch. I would start my webinars at 10 in the morning and I would get back home at 1 a.m. I'm telling you right now, if you've ever done 2, 3 webinars, the only other person who I know has done 4, 5, 6, 7 even webinars is Jason. It's freaking exhausting. I mean, exhausting is an understatement. And then that product launch would do great, and only to turn around 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and you're again booking affiliate webinars. You're live. And a lot of times webinars are in the evening like they are here. So you're taking up your evenings. You're going until 11, 12. Nothing wrong with it, by the way. Live webinars make a crap load of money. And in my model that I teach, I still like to do these live every now and then, like we are right now. And I'll still do them every once a month or so, but I'll do it for my audience, no one else's. And so I got to a point of burnout. And I realized at one point that even the big money I was making just wasn't worth it. And I wanted to scale. And in those days, the only way I scaled was to do more webinars. And it just didn't make sense. So really, the difference between stuck only on live is I feel you get tethered. You're tied down. You're not actually free like most of us set out the journey to be in webinars. What I wanted to do was figure out this system that was going to be the freedom inviting system. So the system where these webinars could run and things could happen and revenue could be produced, but I didn't have to do a live every day. And so it's really the difference here. Now, here's the great thing about lives. I'm not knocking them. I continue to tell you guys, I love lives and I continue to do lives, right? And you can make a crap load of money with lives. And when you have a webinar dialed in, absolutely you should do a launch and you should do a bunch of lives and you should maximize that ROI as you can. But at some point, whether it takes you a month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months or even a year, at some point, I firmly believe you'll make a lot more money if you can evergreen that bad boy and implement the system I'm going to reveal to you today. Look, it all comes down to a cycle. Freedom in a business comes from you being able to create a cycle. It's the circle of business, not to steal from Lion King. So invest, right? You invest time, you invest money, you invest in traffic, you invest in team, you invest in offer, you invest in infrastructure, you invest. That investment gets you back material. All right? In a physical business, that's raw input, metal, product creation material. In our business, it's content, it's marketing, it's advertising, it's social media, it's clout, it's relationships. You invest, you go to an event, you shake a bunch of hands, the material you'll get back, affiliates. Then that material, when utilized appropriately, results in output. Go to an event, I invested. Shook a bunch of hands, material, walked away with affiliate relationships. Output, they promote for me. They promote for me, the output is sales. And if done appropriately, sales should equal more profit. The more profit you have, the more customers you have. The more customers you have, the more you invest. The more you invest, the more. Do you see how this works? This is the snowball effect. This is a true business. There's a huge difference between people who are just running webinars to make a bunch of money and those who are using webinars to build a true business. And the difference resides right here. Is can you create a cycle, a system? And my goal, by the way, that today, that's what we're going to do. Because I did. I've done it. I did it. I'm applying it. I use it. I live it every day. Guess what? Except for the days that Jason and I do webinars live with you, I'm home every day by 5:30. I take my kids to the park. I put them to bed. I take care of them. I hang out with my wife. I see my best friend at least once a week now. I'm living my life. I want to draw some clear distinctions for you today, and I want you to commit to one of these levels. Okay. When you first get started, you've heard Jason talk about this story before, right? Both Jason and I share one very similar story. When we first got started, our first webinar may have had 50 people on, 70 people on, 20 people on, 100 people on. But we could go on to that webinar and make 10 grand, 15 grand, right? Jason was originally, we were during the Q&A session before we started, we were talking about, reminiscing about the traffic equalizer days. Hell, I would get paid $500 to $1,000 for 2 hours worth of work to install a piece of software in people's servers. That's the income level. You're making income. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all need income and we all start somewhere and we all start at income. This is the time at which you are paying the bills. You need something to pay the bills. Got to put food on the table, got to put a roof over your head, got to pay for that car, got to pay for that gas, got to pay for that inflation. You either have a job or you have income from a business. We all start there. Then we move to a place where our webinars now have a few hundred people. We have affiliates that promote our webinars, right? So now we're not making 10 grand a month. we're making 30, 40, 50, 60. We're making in excess of what is required for us to sustain a decent quality of life. This is where we start to have the feeling of being rich. We're paying for that nice vacation. We've upgraded the car to the nicer car, perhaps living in a better neighborhood, sending our kids to private school, buying the expensive purse for our wives, buying the expensive watch for our husbands. We're rich. Next comes wealth. Wealth is achieved when you can run those systems that make you rich without having to multiply the effort that you put in. Still could be doing lives, but you've outsourced the rest of it to your team, the ads, the webinar creation, the course creation. And so your time investment is no longer necessarily scaling past what it takes to be rich, but it's creating leverage. So you've gone from making 30, 40, 50K to 100, 200, 300K a month. That starts to build wealth, assuming you take that money and invest it appropriately. Then comes freedom. And that's another level of thinking. Freedom comes when you create this system, because you can truly exit the system if you choose to. I could exit the system today. I don't want to. I really enjoy what I do, believe it or not. So freedom comes when you can take that and apply it. And of all the business models out there, of doing sales pages, VSLs, book a call, by the way, book a call funnels and freedom have nothing to do with each other. They're about as far apart from each other as they're ever going to be. But of all of the different styles of funnels you can build, the one that I feel lends itself the most to freedom, believe it or not, is the webinar funnel. And most people in their theory and their life wouldn't think that, because we got to be there to do a webinar. I thought that too, except for when I figured out you no longer have to do that. So let me ask you guys a question. Don't let me put answers in your head, okay? This is a true question you have to ask. There is no right or wrong answer. Freedom also comes with its own downsides. To get to freedom, sometimes you got to be down a little locked down. You're going to have to do some new things. You're going to have to invest. You're going to have to step out. You're going to need someone to show you the way. Which one appeals to you? Where do you feel your journey takes you? Where would you be very satisfied if in the next 3 years you could be? Which of these levels is where you'd want to be? Tell me. It's not a rhetorical question. I'm looking for an answer, guys. Got wealth, rich, freedom, lots of freedoms. Oh, not pretty much freedoms now. Wealth, freedom. This is a personal question, by the way. This is not a trick question. There is no right answer for this. This is for you to know. But does everyone here at least understand the difference as I laid it out? This is very important for you to understand, because we all talk about wanting to make money, but no one actually understands what money is and how it works and where we should fit. Can I get a 1 right now in the chat? If that was helpful for you to understand how these how these levers work, how these levels work, and how they relate back to your funnels and to the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis in your business. Give me a 1. All right, got lots of 1s. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. I can't tell you how many times I watch customers and students come to me with the following question. And I'm going to say it to you verbatim as I hear it, and I'd like for you to really think this one through. Anik, how can I make some money online? How can I build a business online without investing any money? And I'll look at them and say, okay, you're going to need about 12 to 15 hours a day, maybe 20. And they'll say, oh, I don't got time. I'm married. I got 2 kids. I got a full-time job. I got a mom that I take care of. I've got this. I've got that. La, la, la. So where are you going with this? So you're looking for, what are you looking? I'm not a genie. Okay. Go look for the lamp. I'm not a genie. But this is genuinely what I hear from people. I'm here to tell you something right now. Jason and I did not get to the levels that we're at here today for free. We have invested more than you can physically and possibly imagine, down to our health. Okay. We have suffered mentally, physically, psychologically. We have invested money. We've lost money. God, we've lost a lot of money. But I never say it as lost money. We've invested money to figure it out. Okay? So if you don't have money, you got to find money. This is business, guys. Okay, so investment equals success. Now, if you don't have money, that's okay. You have to invest a copious amount of time. I've always said you got to invest one of the two, time or money. And if you have both, you got a superpower. So my investment into what I am showing you today, if we could put the camera on me for just a second, Porvok, just so I can look everyone dead square in the eyes, and I need you to take this in, okay? The things you are seeing today cost me $20 million on my credit card in paid traffic. I got a lot of points. Thank God. I've been flying free for, I don't know, a decade and a half now. I haven't paid for a flight. $20 million. Please let that sink in. Please take what I share with you today seriously. $20 million. So at the end today, will we make you an offer? Hell yeah, we will make you an offer. There's going to be a portion of you right now that I'm going to make a very straight point. If you're serious about doing a webinar, we would like for you to join the offer we give you at the end of the webinar. Does that mean my webinar today won't be valuable? Hell no. My webinar today is going to be valuable as hell. But when you try to tell me that the offer we position in front of you later on today is too expensive, could you please just take a screenshot of this? Take a snapshot right now. Pull out your phones and just take a picture of this. I won't be able to have any empathy or sympathy, because genuinely what I'm sharing with you today cost this. You guys know I went through my own wrangle with the FTC, so there's no chance in hell I'm going to say a number or put anything out there that's not substantiated. $20 million is what I've spent on paid traffic, testing the very funnels and every aspect of what you are about to see today. All right? Can I get a yes in the chat if you're excited about the fact that all of that years of investment is today in front of you for your benefit? Give me a yes. Come on. Let's see some of that. Let's see some of that excitement. All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Now, last piece. Okay. What, after having done probably 150 million in sales online, 240,000 transactions, built multiple businesses, exited a couple of businesses, gone near bankrupt a few times, I got 25 years of history to look back at. If I were to look you in the eyes and tell you, what is the number one thing I believe a business has to be able to figure out, an entrepreneur has to figure out, it is the one word acquisition. You need to figure out how to get customers. The rest of it is easy. I have never in my life, I have consulted so many people. I have never in my life had a person come to me and said, Anik, oh my God, I'm just getting hundreds of customers a day. I don't know how to make money. Can you help? Oh my God, I would salivate at the mouth. Oh, thank you so much. I'd probably pay them to let me help them fix that problem, because it never becomes a problem. So if you can build a system that automatically attracts, develops awareness, facilitates decision, increases interest, and allows action, I'm telling you right now, a webinar is the only thing that does all of these in one package. So if you can figure out how to take your webinar and evergreen it, you have solved the number one challenge that a business faces. The number one reason a business goes out of business is because they cease being able to acquire customers. So start with the end in mind and have this in mind always. And so let's talk about exactly what it takes to take Freedom comes through systems. And that's what we're going to reveal to you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the system. We're going to walk through this in great detail today. You will notice similarities between this model and the one that Jason had put in front of you. For the interest of keeping some synergy, I took the Evergreen webinar funnel and broke it down to these components: registration, attendance, post-webinar, Evergreen, and each of these boxes. All of this right here, as simplistic as it may look, took $20 million and nearly a decade to fine-tune. Gotten it down to a science now. We can do this. Our team can build one of these and get them up and running within the span of 7 days. And we can usually have a 70 to 90% assurance it's going to work. Freedom comes through systems. And that's what we're going to reveal to you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the system. We're going to walk through this in great detail today. You will notice similarities between this model and the one that Jason had put in front of you. For the interest of keeping some synergy, I took the Evergreen webinar funnel and broke it down to these components: registration, attendance, post-webinar, Evergreen, and each of these boxes. All of this right here, as simplistic as it may look, took $20 million and nearly a decade to fine-tune. Gotten it down to a science now. We can do this. Our team can build one of these and get them up and running within the span of 7 days. And we can usually have a 70 to 90% assurance it's going to work. So let's dive right freaking in. All right, let's start with number one. Numero uno, campaign narrative. Let's talk about what the hell is a campaign narrative. All right, when Jason and I sat down and said, we are going to do this webinar series, the very first thing that my team did internally was built a campaign narrative. The hook of the first time we did this a month ago live was the two titans of webinars come together for the first time in history to reveal their best webinar secrets. I leaned in on the fact that the industry is aware of Jason and myself, knows who we are, already knows that we do webinars at a big level. And the fact that we have come together in and of itself was a big enough announcement that the narrative was built on that. This time, we did a whole push, spent $24,000 on advertising, and brought in an additional 3,800 registrations. But I had just used that narrative. We had already come together. That's not news anymore. So now the narrative was, this is the last time that Jason and Anik will do anything live in 2025. If you want to see this masterclass, this is the last time. And it worked like a charm. So you find your hook and you build a narrative. You got to be a great marketer to do this, because the narrative doesn't just stop at the hook. The narrative is what you carry through the whole launch. So it's very meticulous. You pre-launch, you seed the audience, you get them excited about what's coming. You drop the hints, change how they're thinking, get them to start thinking about the thing you're going to say, so that the thing that you eventually say was really their idea to begin with. That's the pre-launch. Then you move into the registration phase one, right? Walking up to a webinar. There's a whole rhythm I use. We don't just start saying 7 days before, register, I have a webinar, register, I have a webinar, register, I have a webinar. That is what 98% of everybody else does. That is not what we do. The reason we perform so high with our webinars is because we don't do what 98% of the world does. We come up with a narrative, then we have the webinar, and then we have a very meticulous post-event. Very meticulous. Now, here is the blessing and the curse. You guys ready for this? Narratives are hard. I'm just going to be honest with you. you got to be really good at them. You've got to be a marketer. You've got to be able to close your eyes and have a beautiful mind moment and insert yourself into the psyche of your target customer and really understand it and feel them and then write and think about how one email connects to the next and how one piece of one video connects to the next and what would they be thinking, and you got to get ahead of it, and in time you could be good at it, but it's challenging. But yet it's literally step one of a great campaign. So this is a problem, right? Well, it was a problem until we made it easy. So what we did, and this prompt that we put together, by the way, is so freaking killer that we use it in-house now. It's being used on all of our campaigns. As a matter of fact, this campaign, which obviously has worked like a charm because you're here 2 days in a row, was built off of this prompt. So I'm going to go through this rather quickly. Feel free to take a screenshot, take pictures. You'll get a replay, so you'll get one more chance. But basically, you guys have seen this. It starts off with the same typical style of webinar prompt context. Launching a new marketing campaign to your email list is more than just pushing one hype email after another. Creating and following a structured campaign narrative can lead to higher registrations. Blah, 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 blah. Every single freaking word that's in here was hand selected, picked. We've tested this until we were literally bleeding out of our ears, okay? This is part one of the prompt. Then it goes to the role. You're an elite direct response copywriter and marketer with over 20 years of experience who understands human psychology and emotional triggers and how they impact buying behavior. You understand how to use storytelling, curiosity, and other elements of persuasion to write email copy that is interesting, honest, and authentic without resorting to ridiculous claims or hype. Compliance. You should only use elements of proof if they come from sales material provided or give your own research and back it up with cited sources. Okay. Action, prompts, analysis, proof. All right, I'll stay here for a second. Just wait till you see what it outputs, guys. Because this whole narrative part, I'm telling you, you either take the next 10 years to get really good at it or just use this freaking prompt. All right, then last, hook extraction. Identify the common themes and hooks used throughout the campaign and divide them into primary and secondary hooks. For example, primary hooks are those typically used in a headline and introduction and used throughout the sales letter. Secondary hooks are the other compelling trends or points used as supporting arguments. I'll put 3 primary hooks and up to 10 secondary hooks. Narrative creation. This is where we give it the exact definition of what a narrative is and what to do. Email outline. Oh, God, I can't wait to show you what it creates. This is a ridiculous prompt, by the way. Can you guys see how long this prompt is? Took us a lot of time to get there, but we use it. It's awesome. All right, and then format. Give it to me in the following format. I want it to be easy to understand so I can forward that crap to my email copywriters, and I don't want to have to touch it. And here's what we goes. So here's what we did. Okay? Imagine all you have is a sales page. So you're doing an affiliate promotion or your own promotion. We literally tested it on this page by Tony and Dean. All right. Let's just say my personal swipe file, I pulled it out. Let's say they are doing a big launch and I'll promote it. All I have is this URL. I don't have anything else. I take my prompt, I take the URL. It's going to come back, ask me some questions. Just going to answer those questions for it. Okay, it's asking me a few questions. How long is the campaign and all that? And here's what it comes back with. Let's review it real quick. 7-day email campaign narrative, business training webinar, summary of hooks, proven success secrets, free expert training, time-sensitive opportunity, secondary hooks, step-by-step business building system, learn from industry leaders and experts, discover what's successful. This is the output, by the way. This is the narrative being written by our AI thanks to the prompt, but it gets even better. Look at this. Look at the email narrative. Someone asked, is Claude better? Guys, honestly, I love both of them right now. ChatGPT's been doing a killer job. I use both. They're both great. I like ChatGPT 5 all of a sudden. I didn't initially, but I'm starting to get along with it. All right, email narrative outline. Check this out, guys. All of your emails, subject lines, pre-headers, email hook, these were output. I didn't touch this. This was outputted. My whole campaign is being planned live in front of me. Oh, it gets better. Now we get the email outline that I could copy and paste and send to my email copywriter, or maybe I have a prompt for that too. So I can just take that, copy, paste it into my email prompt, and then it'll write the entire email. So email one outline. Hey, the secret they don't teach, most people will never discover this. Bunch of email bullet points. Email number 2, why 95% fail. Bunch of bullet points. Email number 3, the 10K mistake I see daily. Bunch of bullet points. Email number 4, behind closed doors. Bullet points. Email number 5, your invitation has arrived. Number 6, tomorrow changes everything. How long, honestly, tell me something, guys. How long do you think it would take for you, if you were manually doing all of this, to plan an effective campaign? How long? I want you to answer. It's not a rhetorical question. Please answer the question. How long do you think it would take you to be able to do this? Michelle said too long. Mandy says 6 weeks, few days. Russell, 10 hours, months, if not a year. Could not do it. TC says I couldn't. Vinay says 20 days. This was literally done in a matter of maybe 2 minutes. Seriously, 2 minutes. So there. Next, an attendance gift. Okay. We didn't do an attendance gift for this series of webinar for 2 reasons. 1, Jason and I have broken all of our rules to do these webinars just because it's fun. 2, the damn prompts are your gift. So it was like stupid to create anything else. But in the most simplest of reasons, what's the bribe to get you to show up live? Well, let me talk about why I like to offer a bribe. Number 1, there's a technical reason. When I stand on a webinar, okay, so here, if we could put the camera on me real quick, Purvak. When I stand in front of an ad, okay, and I say, yeah, here, I'll use this one. You haven't seen this one yet. So I say, do you want to learn my secrets to email marketing? I want to give you this free book right now called The Email Lifeline. It comes with a 60-minute presentation where I will show you my best email secrets that I've learned over after 10 years of writing emails right here in the book and in a 60-minute presentation with me. Here's the deal. If you click up above or below right now and register on the other page, not only will I let you come to that masterclass for free, but anyone who does come to the masterclass will get a copy of this book for free. That is a powerful ad because it has a tangible delivery, not just this esoteric webinar. My cost of registrations went down by half. By half. By the way, thank you. Lloyd says, great book. This is a really good book. You should get it. It's a classic. I wrote this so long ago, still stands. Cut down my registration cost by half. What does that have to do with pixels? It allows my pixels to fire more rapidly. It helps Facebook pick things up far quicker, and it just gives momentum to your campaign. All right. Not just that, it hacks the Facebook algorithm. They like it. Makes the ad that much more interesting. Man, I've used this nonstop. Okay. It's a tangibility thing. It makes a big, 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 big difference. I put it on the registration page. My registration
provide references from your market, so the AI.
My click-through rates go up. My ad costs go down. My registration rates go up. My cost per Cost per registration just goes down, 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 down. There is a reason, everybody, why I crush the competition when it comes to evergreen stuff. All of these things are fine-tuned. All of these tweaks are what we use to kick other people's butt in the evergreen game. They don't know this. I've been talking about it. They don't listen. So fine, don't listen. I don't care. Right? But this is a big hack. We put it on the thank you page, reminding you, hey, if you want the copy, you got to show up to the webinar and you got to stay till the end. We give it out at the end of the webinar. So it's on the thank you page. It's in my emails. It's in my text message. It literally increases my performance at every step. More people stop scrolling because they see a physical book. More people click because they see a physical book. More people register because they see a physical book. More people open the emails because it's about a physical book. More people attend the webinar because it's about a physical book. More people stay till the end of the webinar because they want the physical book. Literally every part of the metric that increases your performance is impacted by this little free book. Now, Anik, I don't want to write a book. I hear you. I don't want to write a book. How many of you don't want to write a book? Sounds scared. Be honest. Tell me right now in the chat if you're like, yeah, Anik, that sounds all good and great, but writing a book sounds really scary and it'll take me a long time. Write me. No, just write me. Write me right now. Literally me. Crystal, you're on to me. Ed says me. I don't know how to write a book, someone says. All right, I'm glad you asked. 3 years ago, I was going to just basically convince you that you should write a book. Today, I'll just give you a prompt. All right, so right here, there's a part. It says in the brackets, insert your niche here. Do you guys see that? It's under action. So that's the only part of the prompt that you have to modify. You have to insert your niche here. By the way, everybody, these prompts are just the beginning. If you decide to join us inside of Webinar Mastery Academy, what you're seeing right now is 5% of the awesomeness you're going to get inside. We're promptifying and softwarefying everything. All right. This is all going to become automated. Someone saying it's fuzzy. Bobby, that is the internet on your side. I apologize. The replay will be out. You'll be able to catch the screenshots from that. Let me explode it a little bit. This is the first part of the prompt. Context. To maximize webinar registrations, offering a free book is a powerful incentive. The book should speak directly to the desires, concerns, and pain points of the target audience in your niche. The goal of this prompt is to generate compelling book title and subtitle ideas that would attract high registrations. Role. You're an elite direct response marketer and publishing strategist. Interesting. You understand human psychology, persuasion, and what makes titles irresistible in generating leads. You think deeply about the fears, hopes, and motivations of people in a given niche. Take the niche provided in the brackets. Analyze the likely audience for this niche and include their primary desires, struggles, and emotional triggers. Brainstorm 10 book titles. Here's the output. Sorry, this is the last part of the prompt. You guys ready to see the output? So I did Forex trading. This is literally what came to my mind. I don't know why. Guys, look at this. I hit enter. It seriously took like 15 seconds. And I was like, here are 10 powerful book titles and subtitles. Forex Freedom, how everyday traders are escaping the 9-to-5 by mastering the world's largest financial market. The 60-minute trader, which I really liked. A simple system to grow your Forex account in just 1 hour a day. Currency secrets exposed. The hidden patterns banks don't want retail traders to discover. Forex breakthrough blueprint. The proven path to consistent profits even if you're failed before. Like, all of these sound great. And it came out within seconds. Profit without panic. How to control risk, conquer fear, and trade Forex with confidence. Forex in plain English. Finally, a beginner-friendly guide to making money in the currency markets. The consistency formula. How struggling Forex traders are finally achieving predictable results. Okay, great, Anik. You got me a title and a subtitle. What the hell do I do with that? Nothing. Now we write the damn book. How about a prompt that will write the book for you? There it is. Take a screenshot. About 4,000 words. We don't want the book to be too long. We want it to be a mini book. And so that's the prompt. A free book is powerful lead magnet, about 4,000 words. You are a best-selling author, expert content writer. You understand how to structure books that flow logically, build authority, and engage readers emotionally. You balance storytelling. Literally all I have to do, guys, is right here. Look, right there. I just have to replace the bracket. I have to put the book title. So I pick a book title from the past list and I just put it in here and I hit go. Yeah, got it. Here's a full 7-chapter mini book, Anik. Here's the outline of the book: the Forex Freedom Lifestyle, why 60 minutes is all you need, the 3 core pillars of profitable Forex trading, the outline, and that's the book. Literally, chapter 1. Started writing. Your book is done. Pause for effect. Can I get a wow right now if you're sitting there? I love this because Chigozi says, 0 excuses. Now let's talk about landing pages. Landing pages. Got to have somewhere for people to go and register, right? So I get these questions all the time. What's your best converting landing page? Video or no video? How long should it be? Embed an opt-in form or a pop-up? What do you test first? Blah, 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 blah. Guys, here's my formula. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much split testing I've done. Oh, yeah. And we've come up with the formula. All my pages for webinars on Evergreen track this formula. Lead with a core promise, present the opt-in form, expand on the problem, challenge, tease the reasons to attend the webinar, add your credibility, do another call to action. Bada bing, bada boom, constantly this. This damn webinar reg page I tried to beat for 7 years. 7 years we split tested this bad boy, probably across $5 or $6 million of that 20, maybe even, yeah, about 5 or 6 of that $20 million was spent on that page right there. It kicked every page's butt. Webinar Mastery Academies get that page, but I'll give you one even better right now. Oh, by the way, the rest of my pages all kind of go and model the same damn thing. Why not? It works. I couldn't beat this page, so I modeled after it as often as I could. How many of you want to take a shot at writing this page yourself? You want to go get a master's in copywriting and write this page yourself? Christian says pass. Michelle says no. Yeah, even I don't want to anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the webinar registration page prompt. Anyone who basically thinks that we don't provide value on this webinar, how many of you are already so grateful that you showed up for this webinar and that we were already providing more value than you could have imagined? Give me a me right now in the chat. Give me a me. So many people. So I'm going to leave this prompt up. Strong webinar registration price increases. You are an elite funnel copywriter, decades experience in direct response marketing. Look, you got 2 parts here. 2 parts that you need to replace. It says, please give me the webinar title and please give me your book title. Well, the book title we decided earlier. We give it the webinar title, and it's we tell it the format we want it to use, and bada bing, bada boom, out pops our registration form. Headline: How to trade Forex for just 60 minutes a day and create big profits. Subheadline: Discover the simple daily system that lets you grow your account, protect your capital, and finally achieve consistency without sitting in front of your computer all day. Pretty good copy. Hero section: Suggested visual, a video of you inviting them to a webinar or an image of you holding the free book, The 60-Minute Trader, with bold text that says free live training plus free book. Opt-in form. Below it, seats are limited. Secure yours now. Problem expansion. Subheadline: Why most traders fail and how to avoid the trap. Body copy: Most Forex traders spend hours glued to charts, jumping from strategy to strategy, over trading, over leveraging, and blowing up their accounts. Sound familiar? The truth is, more screen time doesn't mean more profit. In fact, the longer you sit in front of the charts, the more likely you are to let fear, greed, and doubt ruin your trades. It's not your fault. Now we're going to tease the solution. Subheadline: What you'll discover on this free training. Body copy: On this webinar, I'll pull back the curtain. Blah, 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 blah. Why you should listen to me. Meet your host. Body copy: I've spent years in the Forex market, so it's copy about you. Then it says, if you want to insert some testimonials, go for it. Second call to action: Why you can't miss this training. Bunch of bullet points. Big old button says save my free seat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now written an Anik Singal registration page in a matter of seconds. Should you optimize it? Should you change a little bit of it? Sure. Do whatever you want. But you're not staring at a blank piece of paper anymore. You now have a registration page. Ah, this is fun. Oh, man. Okay. Next thing you need, right? Ads. I am going so slow. I got to pick up my pace a little bit. Ads, the fastest way to knock out tons of new ad creatives to test every week. Let's go. There's a simple ad formula that consistently works. I don't know how many ads I've created at this point. I'm not joking when I say this. It's probably over 10,000 ads. It's insane. Just this month, I am creating about 250 creatives for our various funnels, maybe a little bit more. Just this month. And I've been doing that since 2016. So you do the math. All right. The hook is the most important part. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras back out. Ed says, sorry, Charlie. Prompt for paid traffic ad hook brainstorming. Give it the context, give it the role, give it the action. Label these following hooks. So we give this to you guys: curiosity hooks, pain hooks, benefit hooks, contrarian hooks, authority hooks, lifestyle hooks, urgency hooks. This is still part of the prompt, by the way. Okay. Hit next. We use Claude again. As you can tell, I go back and forth. Sometimes when it's copywriting, I prefer to use Claude. But I'm being honest with you guys. The last couple of weeks, I'm finding myself not using Claude as much. Like I'm really liking ChatGPT 5. That registration page that you heard earlier was ChatGPT 5. Look at this, okay? All right, so what do we do here? Let's see. Okay, so here's what I did, okay? I took a PDF. That's the other reason sometimes Claude annoys me, because on ChatGPT, you can give it a URL. On Claude, you have to just like quickly print the page as a PDF. That's fine, takes an extra 10, 15 seconds. But so I took our Board of Experts Mastermind sales page and I just PDF'd it and I uploaded it into Claude, and I used my prompt, and it's going to give me 49 potential ad hooks. Curiosity hooks. Why are 7-figure entrepreneurs secretly joining this invite-only network? Why do successful course creators know that? What do they know about scaling that keeps them ahead of the pack? Why smart business owners are ditching solo scaling with this collaborative approach? The one thing separating entrepreneurs stuck at 1 million from those hitting 10 million. The hidden reason most expert businesses plateau at 500K and how 3% break through. That's cool. I mean, I got to substantiate that, but it's cool. Pain hooks. Tired of being the bottleneck in your own $1 million business? Sick of trying to figure out scaling strategies completely alone? Working 60 plus hours, but your business feels like your business growth feels slower than ever? Another day, another must-try marketing tactic that wastes your time and energy, time and money. Dude, some of these hit. Benefit hooks. Get the strategic network you need to 10x without guesswork. Stop being the bottleneck. Build a business that grows without you. Access the exact playbook that took members from 1 million to 30 million. Transform from an overworked founder to strategic CEO with pure proven systems. Yeah, this one was okay. Contrarian. Forget everything you've heard about scaling alone. This means founders never do it solo. Most scaling advice is dead wrong. The biggest lie in entrepreneurship. You have to figure it out yourself. Like, we just keep going. Authority, proof hooks, lifestyle, future self hooks, urgency, scarcity hooks, 49 hooks created in a matter of seconds. Pick the ones you like. Don't do them all, or do them all. I don't care. If you're scaling, you're going to need them all anyways, right? So then what we do, so you want an image ad? We take the hook and we ask for a prompt that goes into a program called Ideogram. Okay, what if I told you that these ads you see in front of you were created by AI? I don't know Photoshop. I don't know design. We already have a training that we put into Webinar Mastery Academy done by the head of my AV and my head media buyer, Porvuk, who's sitting right there. He led the training. It was first training he's ever done, by the way, and he killed it, where he showed you exactly how we use ideogram. So we use AI to create the prompt, take the prompt to ideogram, an ideogram spits out images, and we use those for our ads. You see that ad right there? Totally done by AI. Paul says, bye-bye graphics guy. Honestly, yes. I can ask Porvuk, how much smaller how many people do you think we've gotten rid of? Like, how many people are now on our design team? Yeah. 0. He just gave me a sign. He said 0. How many do we used to have? Any given time, we had 2 to 3 people full time. And the thing was, we wouldn't even get the image back in 48 hours. That's it. He just said the thing was we wouldn't even get the image ads back for days. Right? Look at that ad created by AI, and that's the prompt. The prompt was created from AI. We have the prompt that we'll give to people who join us in Webinar Master Academy. We have the prompt that creates the prompt that you put into ideogram as a prompt, and then you get your image ad out. Literally AI that's helping you with your AI that then further helps you with your AI. It's insane, guys. The amount of the cycle and the repetition and the pace at which we're rinsing and repeating this stuff is just crazy. All right, let's go to pre-training. Okay, so this is a really cool concept that took me millions of dollars to figure out. I don't see anybody still doing it, and I have been out talking about it for a long time, and it boggles my mind why people aren't doing it. When you register for a webinar, I love this for Evergreen because I like it more for cold audiences. You didn't see Jason and I do it for this campaign because most of you are from what we call our warm audience. You don't need it. But when you're going after cold audience, when someone registers for a webinar, make them watch a pre-training video. Give them homework. Tell them to go do something. Why? There is an infinite amount of psychological reasons why I want them to do it. Number one, they don't know who I am. I don't want them to show up to the webinar without knowing who I am. I want them to have warm and fuzzies about me because the warmer the relationship is before they show up to the webinar, the more likely they are to purchase. So I'm going to walk them through a 10-minute or so case study video that allows me to build rapport, gets them excited, shows them what's possible, and gets them energized about being on the webinar, reinstates. Number 2, micro commitments. Every step your customer or potential customer takes between the time they register for your webinar to the actual attendance of the webinar. Every little thing you can get them to do. Little click you can make them to do, a little email you can get them to open, a video you can get them to watch, a hello in the comments you can get. Every single thing rapidly increases the odds and chances of them actually showing up to the webinar and making a purchasing decision at the end. So this little pre-training video has been a staple of mine, and I am shocked to hell that people are not copying it when I have been at WebinarCon multiple times and said, guys, do this, do this, do this. No, I don't want to make an extra video. Da, da, da. Okay, well, I'm about to get rid of that excuse because bada bing, bada boom. Pre-training case study video script prompt. That's a mouthful. So right there, context, a powerful pre-training video builds excitement before the webinar, gets registrants to actually show up live. The script will be based on a case study you provide if you should engage the audience, demonstrate results, and continually remind viewers to attend the upcoming webinar. You are a master video script writer and direct response marketer and blah, 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 blah. More stuff. Here's the video. Opening hook, case study narrative, proof and results, webinar teasers, strong call to action. About 10 minutes, 1,500 words. Says insert context here. Keep that in mind. Last bit, format, give me the script. Okay. That's the context. And I can already hear you thinking, what the hell is that, Anik? Okay, here's what context means. This is what you will do. You are going to grab your phone. You are going to use any audio transcription app. If you have an iPhone, you already have an app. It is called Voice Memos. It already does transcription. It's free. You simply hit record, you talk into it, and then you copy transcript. And what I did for this, I literally made this up, by the way. I did this earlier today. I just made it up. I just made up a whole story. So you're just going to say, okay, so let's say I said, hey, Christina. I said, Christina, tell me about a time you've used whatever it is that you're about to show in your webinar. And Christina's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm a fitness expert for moms. I had my second baby. I lost 22 pounds after having that by blah, blah, blah. I say, oh, great. And I just hold up the phone to her and I just say, talk about that, Christina. Just talk for 4 or 5 minutes about it. Tell me the story. What did you do? How did you do? What's the context? It was your second baby. How much weight had you gained? What was going on? How hard did you work to lose it? Blah, blah, blah. Just talk. Talk like you would talk to your friend. A friend is sitting across the table from you and asking you about your journey of having lost weight after a baby. Talk to me. You're recording it. That's all I did here. Okay? You take the transcript, you hit copy, you paste it right there where it says insert context here. Okay. And look at this. Perfect. Here's a full 10-minute pre-training video script built around your case study. I've kept it conversational, story-driven, and loaded with persuasive cues to build excitement for the webinar. Opening hook, smile and lean in. Let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you could sit down for less than an hour in the morning before work, before the chaos of the day begins, press a few buttons, and then walk away knowing your money is out there working for you? No endless hours staring at charts, no stressing over what stock to pick, just a simple structured system that anyone can follow. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, I thought so too, until it happened to me. See, not long ago, I was in a very different place. I wasn't an investor. I wasn't some Wall Street guy. I was an accountant. Good job, professional career, but let's be real, I was burning out. Late nights, early mornings, never-ending numbers. And here's the part that really got me. No matter how hard I worked, I never seemed to get ahead. Sure, I had a nice house, 2 cars, all the things you'd want to mean financial success, but at the end of the month, nothing left over. No savings for travel, no cushion for emergencies, no luxury purchases. I was working so hard, yet financially I was standing still. I knew there had to be another way. So like a lot of people, I dipped my toes into stock trading, and every single time I lost money. I felt like I was cursed. I'd buy, I would drop, I'd sell, it would rise. I was like the market was against me. I bought programs, I followed gurus, but nothing clicked. And honestly, I was close to giving up. I'm not going to read the rest of it, guys. This was literally created in seconds. All I did was use the prompt and the random rambling context of mine to create this fictitious story, by the way, just to prove my point. And it created a script that I can read, and I now have my 10-minute pre-training video created live before your eyes. All right, hot list emails. What's a hot list? So when someone registers for your webinar, you want to send them emails. You got to get them excited. Just because they registered for it doesn't actually mean they're going to show up. So you got to make sure they show up. You got to get them excited. So we start to send them hot list emails, right? We start sending. You guys all got emails. How many of you? Give me a 2 in the chat if you got emails from myself and Jason letting you know about the webinar and getting you pumped and excited about being here. Give me a 2. This is a trick question, by the way, because you literally wouldn't be here if you hadn't gotten those emails, right? Very, 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 very important to send those emails. So we create hot list emails that match the campaign narrative. Remember that? Remember that, guys? Over here under registration, you see that campaign narrative? We already have the emails outlined, the subject lines and everything, but I'm too lazy. I don't want to write an email. Well, I mean, gosh, I can't tell you. How many copywriters did we have? Hey, John, I know you're there. Thanks for being on, by the way. I know you just drove a lot and you have a headache, but John, at what point, how many copywriters did we have on the team?
We had 7 at the peak.
We had 7. How many do we have today?
2, counting me.
Well, and you're not full-time, and neither is the other person. So really, if it's 0.5, we have arguably 1.
Exactly. And then Claude and Chatty.
Is it? Yeah, Claude and Chatty. Isabel says, it must have felt awful to fire them. I'm not going to answer that question. I shall plead the 5th, Isabel. All right. Bam. This is so unfair. It sucks. Take it, guys. Literally, we're like halfway through building your whole funnel. It's probably, you've been probably doing this at this point for like 10 minutes if you're using my prompts. All right. We got a prompt here. You define the role, insert the subject line. So we got to copy paste that over from the narrative document. Insert the bullet points. We got to copy and paste that over from the narrative document. It even goes and tells you, hey, it's from the narrative document. And hit go. Here's an email. Subject line, $2,000 in 15 minutes. Not compliant, but whatever, just for fun. Body copy. Hey, on my first day using the system, I set up a trade in 15 minutes. Then I walked away, took a shower, got ready for work, made a coffee. About 45 minutes later, my phone pinged. The trade had closed, and I was staring at $2,000 in profit. By the way, guys, remember, I made this shit up. I was just trying to do something for fun. I break down exactly how I did it in the pre-training video. Don't skip this. Watch it now. Plus, I'll show you how to practice the system yourself for a free fake money account, so there's zero risk while you learn. But the real deep dive happens live on the webinar. That's where I'll walk you through the entire 60-minute system, step by step. Date and time, you got to edit that in. Do not miss this. Seats are limited, and you want to be there live to see it in action. See you soon. It's quiet. No one's saying anything. Is that because everyone's just like, what the fudge? Give me a WTF if that's what you're thinking right now. Christian says stunned. Every email, every email, sorry, I read a comment by John. Every email in that narrative document can be written in seconds in front of your eyes. I love this. Who said? Tracy says, my head hurts from what you have done. Mine too. My head hurts because the hell, man, it's not fair. I keep saying it's not fair. Ask John. John's been my partner in crime on this for years. We did it the hard way for the longest freaking time. All right, micro commitments. I mentioned this earlier. What's a micro commitment? So that's the next step here. I'm a big believer of micro commitments. People nowadays have the attention span less than of a goldfish. That's not a joke. Microsoft did a study. They found that the average attention span of a human being right now is I forgot the number. It's 5 seconds. It was 5 seconds. And that actually a goldfish has an attention span of 8 seconds. We're getting pinged and dinged way too much. So just because you told me 6 days ago that you want to sign up and show up to my webinar, that don't mean nothing. I got to get you to recommit to that every day, multiple times a day. So every time I ask you to do something, it's a little teeny micro commitment. Hey, click here. Hey, do this. Hey, read that. Hey, watch this. Click like. What do you guys see me doing during the webinar all the time? Give me a 1. Give me a go. Give me a yes. Give me a... So why am I doing that? Because some of you are dozing off into other areas. You're la-la-lying, or your phone's ringing, and you picked up your phone, and you're reading a text. You can't help it. And then all of a sudden, Anik says, give me a 1 if you're, blah, 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 blah. You're like, oh, 1. I brought you back. Micro commitments throughout the entire process to retain attention, because attention is what creates conversion, right? So step-by-step path to the ultimate yes. So some engagement hacking tricks for you real quick before the launch. Now, these are going to sound damn simple, but they literally took me a fortune to determine. Number 1, put a little Facebook plugin on the thank you page underneath the video on the thank you page. So on the thank you page, the video. So when you register for the webinar, you land on something called the thank you page. It's called that because we're thanking you for registering. Thank you page. So you registered. Now you're on the thank you page. There's a video that says, hey, thanks. Congratulations. I'm saving your seat. Make sure you show up. We're going to learn about blah, 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 blah. And you're going to get this free book. Oh, and by the way, if you're pumped and excited about today, do me a favor. Drop me a comment below. I pick random winners all the time to win cool stuff. I just want to see that you're excited. Drop me a comment below right now. You know, guys, when we were doing our evergreen and spending millions upon millions of dollars, we had one of those thank you pages where the comments crossed 7,000. Do you imagine what the hell happens to someone's psyche from social proof perspective when they come to a page and see 7,000 comments? They're sold. They're like, holy crap. So it's a double win. A, the person who said yes, just mentally committed to being there, micro commitment. B, the social proof you accumulate is massively impactful to get other people there. We also do prizes and giveaways. So, a lot of times we're like, hey, share this page, share this webinar with others, and win some prizes. So inside of Webinar Mastery Academy, I've created a checklist of my top 12 micro commitment strategies. Like I said, guys, we'll give away as much as we can to you for free, but there's always going to be a certain level of the juice that we're going to keep for the members. It's only fair, right? I think we're giving away plenty. But then there's going to be some things that I'm like, hey, man, that's the secret sauce. It took us a lot of effort, time, and energy and testing. So that's inside for the members. All right. Post webinar. This next piece took me millions in investment to figure out. Very simple. You want to dominate? You've got to have a webinar platform that can help you segment out your audience into the following buckets. There is different email sequences that go to these. This can be and will be completely automated. And the AI prompt that I gave you to write your emails will write these emails as well. You set it and forget it. The Evergreen software handles all of it. Don't need to be intimidated by this at all. The first segment that you need to message and you need to talk to is called the no-show. They just did not show up. This will be the largest audience. They didn't show up. I don't know why. People are weird, No, I mean, things come up, So you have to talk to them different. They haven't even logged in yet. They don't know anything. You got to talk to them different. Then there's the partial attendee. Even today, as we've started, there have been people that have dropped off. There's always a drop off at the 1 hour point. People have shit to do. Things come up. Kid starts crying. Got to go to dinner. Something happens. So they watched half, didn't watch the other half. How much will it suck to send them back to an encore when they have to start from the beginning again? They're going to drop off. They're like, I already watched like the first hour. I got to sit here and watch the next. So we send them mostly replays so that they can skip around and find where they left. Third, there's a bunch of people that fully attended. They watched the whole time. So why would I send them to the encore? I'm not. I'm going to send them straight to the cart page, send straight to the sales page, give them the replay, push them to buy. And then last but not least, buyer. I got to exclude them. No point in bugging them. They already bought. Let them go off and start enjoying the course and let them start getting the series of emails that my buyers get. So we exclude them. That's it. Does that sound simple? 99%. I'm making that number up, but I really mean it. 99% of webinar marketers don't do this. You want to talk about that extra juice, that extra few percent advantage over your competition? There it is, right before you. No, that doesn't mean that. Someone goes, does that mean if we attended the whole webinar last night, we will not get the replay? No, I said you will get the replay. VA, if you attended the whole webinar and I didn't give you the replay and all I did was give you the encore file, so you have to watch it in a live environment again from the beginning and can't control it, how annoyed would you be? So because of your experience with me, I create the personal scenario where you will get a controllable replay file so you can skip around and do whatever the hell you want. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an outline below it that tells you timestamps of where everything is so that you can get back to wherever you need to, read about. Okay, encore and replays. Very, very, very simple thing I want you to take away. Ready? Encores win. Encores win. Sometimes replays win, but for me, mostly encores win. Now, why aren't we doing that with this webinar with Jason and myself? Well, because the way that schedule worked out for both Jason and I, we decided to do a double stack webinar. We did a webinar yesterday and we do a webinar today. It didn't have room for an encore, so we're just going to straight to replay. Like I said, this course is one of those where you don't watch what we're doing, watch what we're teaching. We're constantly breaking the mold here, so we're trying something different. But typically what I'll do, this is a big tip. I've tested this, oh my God, with so many registrations. In an evergreen scenario, if they missed your webinar, do not send them a replay. send them an encore the next day, different time. If they registered for 8 p.m. on Monday, send them an encore that's 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Give them a different time zone. Give them a different day. Let them experience it in a live environment again. Your performance will be far better. Only after that do I then send out the replay files. Only after that do I send out the replay files. Okay? Number 3, true scarcity. Scarcity drives sales. It does. So here's a cool prompt for you. Take a screenshot of it to give you a bunch of scarcity ideas. I get asked this all the time. Anik, how can I do scarcity? Now remember, whatever scarcity you do has got to be true. Otherwise it's not compliant. So all you have to do is come in here, copy this prompt. It says insert product name. So you just fill that part in with whatever the heck the name of your product is, and you hit enter, and bada bing. Here are 7 ethical and compliant scarcity strategies you can use to boost the conversions on your webinar for 60-minute Forex trader. Number 1, fast action discount. Offer a special price only for attendees who enroll during the live webinar. First 25 buyers bonus. The first 25 people who join get an extra resource. Live only coaching call. Everyone who purchases during the live webinar gets an exclusive group coaching call. Number 4, replay expires in 48 hours. Make the replay available for a short time so that people watch it. Stacked bundle deadline. During the webinar, offer a package with additional bonuses like advanced training strategies, After the deadline, only the core product remains. Private community access. Grant entry to a private 60-minute trader accountability group. Implementation guarantee window. Offer a unique guarantee. Anyone who joins during the webinar gets a 30-day practice challenge guarantee. If they don't feel confident after 30 days practicing the system, they can request a full refund. And all you have to do is run the prompt again. Run the prompt again, and it'll give you 7 unique more ideas. If you don't like any of these, literally just hit enter, copy, paste, enter again. It'll give you 7 more ideas. All right, extensions. Now we're getting advanced. This is advanced stuff, okay? This is like uber duper super advanced stuff, but I'm going to basically show you how to increase your sales by 30 to 50%. This became so important, my team wouldn't even dare run $1 of paid traffic to a webinar campaign without the extensions built in, because they said we can't. We won't make money. The extensions are vital. You know how many webinar marketers, even though I've been teaching this for 3 years now at WebinarCon, do you know how many webinar marketers are doing extensions? I know 2. 2! It's... Anyways, so most people run the campaign for 1 to 2 weeks. Webinar, replay, closeout. Webinar, replay, closeout. Replay for 5 days, close it out. We noticed that on our funnels, we started noticing that when we were, I'm going to explain what an extension is. I was noticing that when we were closing out the last day, we were doing the closeout emails, and we were basically saying like, hey, last chance to watch the replay. We were getting like 30, 40% open rates. And I'm like, man, this audience is still super engaged. Like, they're super engaged. Why are we kicking them out? That's like you got a killer party going. Everyone's having a freaking blast. And you're just like, all right, it's 11, get out. It's like, why? I don't know. Just get out. It's like, but I want to party. It's like, yeah, me too, but you got to leave. So it doesn't make any damn sense. So I thought, what if we don't do a closeout? What if they just don't want to watch a webinar? It's been 5-6 days. I've been trying to shove a webinar down their throat. They haven't watched it. What if I just, I don't know, sent them a webinar split up into 3 parts and showed them 3 videos? So now I can promote each video for 3 days. I just extended my webinar by 9 days. I have 9 more days of emails to send them. Well, I can tell you one thing. I sure as hell I'm not going to lose sales. How could extending the funnel ever cost me sales? It can't. It can only make me more money. If you went to Vegas right now and you walked in and I said, hey, John, here's the thing. You can gamble as much money as you want here. I will make you whole. You can't lose. But anything you win is yours. How much money, guys, would you gamble if you had a 0% chance to lose and all of the gains were yours? How much money would you gamble in that scenario? That's not a rhetorical question. I want you guys to answer it. How much money would you gamble if you had nothing to lose, only to gain? Everyone's like, all of it, unlimited, a lot, till the cows come home. I like that. That's what this is. I don't understand why people aren't getting this. So it's like, dude, extend the damn funnel. And people are like, how do I extend the funnel? Well, I'm glad you asked. We do something called, my favorite one's called reverse PLF. You guys want to know what I do? I literally split the webinar in 3 parts. Turn it into 3 videos. It's the laziest, stupidest way. Do you know how many people I have tracked go watch all 3 videos back to back? I'm like, you bird brains. You could have just watched the webinar, but they don't want to watch a webinar. They want to watch 3 videos back to back. Who am I to argue? Do you know what we saw? And this is what it looks like. So video 1 up top, video 2, video 3. So it's a video, then they can click to see the next one. They're all live. They can watch all 3 of them back to back. But now I have 9 days I can promote, because 3 days I promote video 1, 3 days I promote video 2, 3 days I promote video 3. I just more than doubled the length of my funnel and came up with a ton of additional reasons to be able to continue reminding them about my promotion. And they're still opening, so that's great. I have 31 different strategies that you can use to extend. 31. I've done a killer training of these. It's inside of Webinar Mastery Academy. I'll tell you my 7 favorite ones when you're inside. They're the 7 that are my biggest go-tos. But this is a no-brainer, guys, to do the extensions, right? All right, I'm going to pause real quick. How many of you feel so far that what you have learned would give you the massive competitive edge to go from many to millions with your webinar that Jason helped you create last night? Give me a yes right now. Give me a yes right now in the chat if you truly feel that what you're getting today stacked with what you got yesterday. Oh, I have another question, by the way. Give me another. Give me a 3 in the chat if you've seen things today that you've never heard before. You've learned something new today that you've never seen before. No one's ever taught it to you before. I wish you guys could see the 3s are pouring in. Well, yeah, because they don't know it. This is stuff I've created. And it took me millions of dollars to create it. Okay, so by the way, the key to monetization, upsells, downsells. That's literally my whole point on this slide. Like, I'm good. You got to have upsells and downsells. We help you get those. We have prompts for those too. I don't have them in this webinar. I need you to join us in Webinar Mastery Academy if you want all of that. The last time I did this, one of the questions I kept seeing in the chat was, what platform do we use? 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 There. Those 3. One of them. They all have their pluses and minuses. It would take me an hour to dissect this with you. So inside of Webinar Mastery Academy, we're going to have the founders of all 3 of these. I don't know if I'll be able to get the founder of Stealth Seminar. I'll ask. But I'll definitely get the founder of A-Event and Webinar Kit to come in and do the training. Tonight's webinar is a live one, so we used A-Event. We love A-Event for lives. For our evergreen, we will be using Webinar Kit, and we tend to use Webinar Kit. I know the founder of it. It's a really cool tool. It's up and coming. We used to use Stealth Seminar a lot. I have made deca millions with Stealth, so I'm very indebted to them. We don't use it as much now because we don't feel like they've kept up with some of the cool nifty features that the other ones offer. They did sell, they got bought out by another company, so perhaps they have added features now. I don't know. But the bottom two are the go-to for us right now, A-Event and Webinar Kit. Mackenzie says, but this is a Zoom webinar. Yeah, I know. But the shell technology around it that helped do all the things is A-Event. All the automations, the show rate stuff, like that's why I said I don't want to get too far into this, but we will make you into, I will get you all of the details on this inside of Webinar Mastery Academy. Benchmarks, I'll just give you guys some numbers. Take a screenshot of this. These are your benchmarks. If you can hit these numbers, you are poised to do well on scaling for paid traffic. Your registration rate should be 20 to 30%. Your attendance rate for your evergreen webinar, not your live, your evergreen webinar should be 40 to 50%. You need to convert 2% of registrations. If you can convert 2% of your registrations, you are going to scale to the moon. It's a little bit harder than it sounds, but if you follow Jason's formula, it's a lot easier. So if you get 1,000 people to register for a webinar, 2%, 20. That's right. You are allowed to have failure with 980 of your registrations, and you will still kick ass. 2%. 2% of the registrations, not the attendees, the registrations. That's the number we tracked. Typically, we find most webinars that are scaling are at like 1.2%. 1.5% is where I usually have been, and that is a very scalable number. 2% is an ultimate superpower. So you write that down as kind of like your go-to. And if this doesn't make sense to you right now, I don't care. Take a picture of it. When you start and go live with your webinar, you will remember this and say, damn, Anik gave me that number. Also, 3x is the ROI that we shoot for. So on a evergreen scalable webinar funnel, for every dollar you put in, you should make back 3. If you are below that, there's optimization to do. I have gone as high as 5 or 6, but remember, I'm giving you numbers at scale. All the idiots on Facebook who will be like, I got 1,500% ROAS, have spent literally $22 on ads. They have not scaled. Scalable, you're going to be somewhere in the 3 to 5x. 3x is a minimum that you need to look for. Dual extension. Okay, remember we talked about extensions? I just showed you. I said, hey, make sure you extend the webinar in an evergreen scenario. So if it works once, do it twice. Right? Again, very simple concept here. And people will be like, oh my God, my mind is blown. And I'm like, I literally didn't say anything that innovative. But like, if it worked once, here's what we found after testing this across lots of sales. Lots and lots of sales. When we extended our webinar the first time, we saw a 30% increase in sales. It was crazy. By just sending 9 more days worth of emails that are fully automated, written at one time, using using our prompt in ChatGPT. Probably took us like 5 minutes to write them, log them into the system, and we just increased sales by 30%. How crazy is that? Then we added another extension. I'm like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do another. Let's use one of my 31 strategies. And now let's extend it over 7 more days using strategy number 16. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And we have seen that it will typically add another 10% of sales for yet again, just taking our prompts and writing some emails, logging them in there. By the time we tried extension 3, by the way, extension 3 didn't really add that much. At that point, I was like, hey, let's leave them alone. Let's let them into our main list and we'll come back for another day. We'll fight again another day. But like the 2 extensions was the key. So it's about 40% increase in sales. So if you don't like money, don't extend. But if you want to have a chance at succeeding at paid traffic, I don't see how the hell you'll do it unless you extend. Who's never ever heard of the term funnel extension before? Give me a me if you've never ever heard the term funnel extension before. Ain't that crazy? I wish you guys could see the me's coming in. Everybody. Isn't that crazy? We talk about funnels all the time, but you know why? Because there's very, very few people in the industry that spend the kind of money on paid traffic the way that I do. It's just never been relevant for them. For me, though, made a massive, massive difference. All right, last but not, we're getting to the last, but like nurture. Look, guys, very simple. The colder you go with your audience, the more nurturing they need, okay? How many of you here knew either Jason or me before you came onto the webinar? There will be some of you who didn't know us at all. I don't know how you got here, but you're here. Those of you who don't know me at all, don't know Jason at all, are going to need a little bit more convincing to buy. All right? For all my ladies in the room, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. Okay, ladies? You're walking down the street. A gentleman approaches you. You don't know who the heck that person is. Well-dressed, well-suited. Says, oh my God, you are gorgeous. Gets down on one knee and says, would you marry me? Don't know this person. Okay, that's scenario one, ladies. Let's list that as scenario one. Now, scenario two. The hero wrote, run. Scenario two. You're walking down the street. You hear your name called. Oh, it's the guy you've been dating for 6 months. You like him a lot. And he's a really good guy. And he comes up to you and he says, I have something to ask you. He gets down on his knee and says, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Will you marry me? That's scenario two. Which one are you more likely to say yes to? Don't say neither. I know 6 months is short. Which one are you more likely to say yes to? Scenario one, the complete stranger. Christine, you guys are laughing. All the ladies, I am getting so many LOLs. Christina's laughing. But think about this. That is exactly how marketing works. Everyone's saying two. Via wrote, obviously, two. But do you use that obvious mentality in your marketing? Or are you the guy that runs up to the woman who doesn't know you, has never seen you, and says, marry me? Give me your money. Give me $2,000. Faith says the first one's a creep. How many of us are creeps in our marketing? We don't take the time to wine and dine these people, to get to know them. Well, that's what's really changed about my marketing strategy. That was my big aha moment in 2022. I love this. Chigozi just wrote, ouch. Did that one hit, guys? Did I just hit below the belt? Give me a yes if I hit below the belt. I was supposed to. It's supposed to be a wake up. A bunch of people saying one. All right. So the way I look at this now is if you market cold, you're able to use social media and all of these different tools at your disposal to warm a relationship up to the point where you become the guy that she's been dating for 3 years, not even 6 months. And the chances of her saying yes have radically gone up. Did you know there was a study done, fascinating study. It was a study done that said simply exposure, repeated exposure builds trust. Not repeated engagement, repeated exposure. So what they did is they took a series of brands, and simply flashed the brand's logos in front of people. That's it. They just saw the logo. They did not see anything else. They don't know a damn thing about the brand. They haven't engaged with the brand. They don't know the mission of the brand. They don't know the products of the brand. They haven't used the products. They have absolutely zero affinity to the brand. They just see it. They keep showing 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 it. And they proved scientifically, this was done at a university, I forgot the name. They proved that humans are more likely to trust a brand merely because they have been exposed to it more. So just by showing up on these different social media channels, you are trusted more. And we're here to play the long game. So we nurture these leads that come in. That's how you really win in this business. And that's how I've been able to win in the business. We have 10 different email styles that we like to use to nurture those leads. We will get them to you and we will promptify them for you so that you don't need to hire writers to write these. Last but by no means least, optimizations. Take a screenshot of this. You need to optimize your funnel if your numbers are outside of these ranges. I know this sounds easy. That's $20 million worth of data for you that nobody else is going to have. Your cost per lead should be between $7 to $15. Our cost per lead for this campaign that we did, we spent $24,000, was $9 and something. Show rate should be 40% or higher. That's not relevant here because this is not evergreen right now. This is live. Retention rate should be 50% or higher. On the live, our retention rates are like 80, 85%. 20% of your leads should see the offer. 5 to 8% of those should convert. Your conversion rate should be 1.5 to 2% of the people that registered. Your average cost per sale should be $750 to $1,500. Maybe some of that doesn't make sense to you right now. It doesn't matter. Take a picture of it. It will when you do your funnel, and you'll thank me for it later. Because this right here is what it takes to scale. And all of that leads to you having a simple dial in your hand. Once you have put those things correctly, it's up to you. How much do you want to scale? Dial up the ad spend, dial down the ad spend. It's literally in your control, like a volume knob. And everything I went over today may have sounded complicated, but I promptified pretty much all of it for you. So right now, this very minute, how many of you genuinely deep down in your hearts feel that if you have not only what I shared with you today, but all of the additional things that we will be giving to you and all the additional guidance and help that we would give you inside of Webinar Mastery Academy, how many of you feel like you truly can get this done? Sitting here, you're like, look, Jason will get me my webinar. Anik will get me my funnel. I can get this done. I can own and nail down. Give me a yes if you feel like I can own and nail down the customer acquisition process. Going back to the beginning of this presentation, I mentioned that is the number one thing every business needs to figure out and systemize and safeguard. Customer acquisition.